Hi everyone, it's Farhan here, yummynutrients.com. Just wanted to share my experience of day 10 of the 28-day Super Juice Me program. It's actually day 11 already, but I was too exhausted last night to record a quick video on how my experience had been during day 10. So last night I literally was like so exhausted by the time I got home. It was quite late night. I did find that I managed to get like a good solid sort of 7.5, 8 hours of sleep last night, or the night before rather. And that did make a bit of a difference. And so I'm pretty sure like the sleeping part is definitely like a big part of the juice detox. Like it's important to make sure you get your rest in. So if you're not resting enough, like that may be one of the reasons why you're not necessarily like feeling on par. I'm sure like once the sort of detoxing is kind of passed and sort of you get to that stage of like beyond that, then sort of once the body's naturally kind of kicked into kind of another gear, then it might be a different matter. But like as you're going through the detox process and stuff, if like me, you might be experiencing that sluggishness and kind of it's still feeling a bit slow and a bit sluggish, then it's either going to be you need more sleep or need to do more activity. Um, so, yep. Um, One of the things I wanted to just cover off, because I've seen a few people like talking about it as well, is just like the whole thing of like while you're doing a 20-day super juice detox as part of the world's biggest juice detox as organized by Jason Vale, um, or just doing a detox in general. One of the things that comes up is like socializing and meeting friends for lunch or dinner or kind of meeting over food, and that's a huge part of being social, right? And I think one of the really important things to remember is that we're doing this for ourselves. It doesn't mean we have to isolate ourselves. It doesn't mean we have to like cut ourselves off from the world. It doesn't mean we have to like go into hibernation for 28 days and be completely antisocial and kind of cut away from the world. All it means is that we need to become a bit more prepared in terms of making sure we have the juices we want to take with us ahead of time, making sure that we've got basically sort of, fueled, as it were, and also kind of just, being mindful of and respectful of, the environment you're in. So, if you're in a restaurant or whatever, and it wouldn't be appropriate to ask them to kind of pour your juice out in a glass, or it may be, right? Like, for me personally, last night I was meeting with some friends in a restaurant, and the restaurant had like freshly pressed orange juice. I was like, great, I'll have that. If they didn't have that, I would have got like a mint tea, and if they didn't have that, then it was sparkling water. And like, there's always something, right? So, like most restaurants will either have teas or they'll have sparkling water, and that with a bit of lemon and some ice, or even just some hot water with some lemon, right? It's really simple. And it doesn't need to be overcomplicated. Like, just you don't need to explain it away or do it. Like, it's no big deal. Honestly, like it was really interesting. Like when I mentioned it to my friend that I was, just having like juice. Like, what do you what they? It was almost a bit of a like surprise shock. Like, what is that? Like, how does that work? What exactly are you doing? And then when I basically explained, you kind of have four juices a day, and show up in the morning, and like basically that's all I'm having is fuel, um, like as in food, right? Then it was interesting. One of my friends, a close friend of mine, like he was basically like, "Oh, okay," and they just finished like their starters and their salad, and sort of my friend just was like, "Oh, suddenly I'm not gonna order anything more," and like he basically just like suddenly realized or made a decision to like just not eat as much, which was a bit weird. It was like don't let what I'm doing like interfere with your decisions around what you're planning to do. And he was like, no, 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 it's fine. Like but he was like, yeah, no, 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 it has completely influenced him. And that was really interesting because it was just like, well, like I'm not trying to change anybody else. I'm not trying to influence anyone else. I'm doing it for myself, right? Like I'm just explaining it so people understand what it is. But beyond that, like, I mentioned the documentary and like just, 28 days, just nothing but juice, and why I'm doing it, and sort of the whole what's the word? Oh, the whole rationale behind it and the experiences that other people have had and the benefits and things like that. And I was just like, well, like, explaining that, after the 28 days, I'll probably just keep on juicing. And obviously there was the whole, oh, but is it healthy, and like, are you gonna get rid of all the usual things? It was like, you know what, like it's fine. Like, people are genuinely curious, so you cover it off and then move on, right? Talk about the stuff you socialize. You're meeting to like get to know about, right? Like how you doing, like projects you're working on, stuff you're up to, like what's happening in life, stuff like that. And so it was like, well, you know, being on a juice fast doesn't mean that you need to like stop being social, right? I mean, the sort of the day before yesterday, I was in McDonald's with my brother and his family, and like we just had like I just had a juice while they were having whatever they were eating, right? And it's like, for them that was a treat with the family, so great, I'm not gonna be judgmental of it. Like I obviously have my opinions on it, and at the same time, like I've done in the past where like when I'm with family, like I will join in. So then, because it sets an example for the kids. And whilst I know that that's not necessarily the best example, um, when that is how the parents of the children want to bring up their kids, like I'm not going to judge that, right? Um, Going forward, if I'm ever in that situation again, I may look at making wiser health choices. I may look at being more mindful of what I choose should I ever eat in a place like McDonald's. And I'm sure that, if the entire family is there and everybody's eating something, then I probably will find a way to like, join in and participate. Like when I'm not on a juice fast, right? Um, but I may not necessarily kind of default to like, the standard, um, what's it called, meals that we'd have, right? Like probably wouldn't join in with everyone else, but my preference would be like one day maybe we get to a point where actually like we're meeting and hanging out in a juice bar or in a healthy cafe or something. But you know what? There's time for everything, right? So anyway, like the main thing I wanted to share was really like don't worry about like meeting with people, right? Like don't cancel your lunch dates, don't cancel your dinner appointments, don't like cancel evenings out with friends. There are always things you can do. There's always ways around it. Like just, the most important thing is make sure you've got your juices prepped so that you're getting your juices on time or, relatively to schedule, right? If you happen to spend, long enough in a restaurant or a cafe or wherever and you didn't drink your juice yet, like just drink it. Like if you've got it with you and, you've prepared it, then drink it, right? If it's time for you to drink your juice. If anyone has wrong with it, say, just explain, right? You're doing it for your health or you're doing it for whatever reason you want to give. And it's not something that anybody should challenge or question. And if they do, then fine. And, if the restaurant or cafe has a problem with it, then, by all means, like, apologize and just put it away and then, step outside, drink it, and then come back in. And, just buy something in the establishment. After that, I went to and met with a friend and we ended up in a raw food cafe, right, in the middle of Chelsea, like South Kensington. And raw food cafe, and they had like beautiful desserts and stuff. And it was like great, but I was like, okay, well, I'll have juices, and they had juices like made with a Norwalk press juicer, like it's a really expensive juicer. I was like, okay, well, let's see what those taste like, and it was okay. Flavors weren't quite necessarily like to my liking, but it was nice. I mean, the quality of the juice was good. I probably wouldn't use those combinations, but it's fine. Like it was a juice over like having a tea, right? Like we had a juice. It's like let's have a juice. Let's not have tea. Let's have a juice. So that was pretty cool. Um, so right, like that was kind of the only thing really. And in terms of how I'm feeling, um, still feeling a bit of a sluggish kind of energy. Like I'm not feeling like on a high, not feeling on a really sort of juicy kind of raw energy high. Still feeling good with the juices. Still feeling like I need to maybe get a bit more rest in. I think tonight I'm probably gonna do either a bit of rebounding or actually go to the gym, just to like start doing a bit more physical activity. And other than that, I'll let you guys know how today's go. Tonight I will do one like as of tonight, right? As in review of the day. But yeah, last night I was just so exhausted and it had gotten quite late, so then I thought, let's just get some sleep in and then we'll do it in the morning. So here we are, day 10 of the 28 days Super Juice Me program. It's part of the world's biggest juice detox, as organized by Jason L at juicemasters.com. Have an awesome day and I'll catch up with you tonight. Bye.